I have been chasing turkeys on this farm for almost a decade, and despite the numbers being good, I have way more footage of nice toms than meat in the freezer. This year, I'm changing it up and trying to get my brother-in-law Lucas his first bird, and possibly one for myself. I drove down the evening before the hunt to set up a ground blind in preparation for a rainy morning sit before Lucas got down to the farm. I had almost no action and the woods was quiet aside from a turkey who was gobbling about 600 yards away for most of the late morning. Once the rain let up, I decided to go after him on the way back to the truck. I played cat and mouse with this bird for an hour and a half before he finally had enough of me. That evening, I linked up with Lucas and we set the blind up right where I saw the tom from the morning. We had another uneventful sit aside from a hen who was happy to talk to us.
Facing at us here once. I think that would get both of us, wouldn't it? Looks like it would. Yeah. Head straight up. Can't get much better of a decoy than that. I was kind of hoping to hear a gobble behind her. What? Still coming in. I thought the jail was up. She's like, no, you come over here. She's starting to get pissed off for sure.
The next morning came early, and we were back in the same spot. After a few hours and a quiet morning, we had an ideal setup for a perfect double.
I just know. Like you can see it. Oh yeah, look at it fanned out. Yep, that's how I know. You don't shoot them when they're fanned out, right? Correct. Yeah, they really are. I'm surprised. Oh, I just heard another one. I wonder if they don't like our full strut decoy. Going over, turning around. See if we can get them interested here. There we go. You're walking to it. You can use this contrast of that window maybe. But we're yeah, you might have to kind of like lean way over. It's all good. Okay, little window. Going on 40 minutes. Wow. I'd love to take a sip of coffee.
The tom stayed at 100 yards for 45 minutes before finally wandering off. After that encounter, we decided it would be best to switch up techniques for the midday and do some run and gun hunting. We slowly walked and called along the field edge until we heard a gobble off to the east. Knowing we were trying to call a turkey across an open field with no decoy, we decided to use the hilly landscape to our advantage. We set up on one wood line with the turkey on the other. A slight hill between us made it so we couldn't see each other. If the tom wanted to strut for the hen, he would have to come to the top of the hill, which happened to be in range.
Hey Lucas, you gotta stay ready, because you're not gonna be able to move. Make sure it has a beard. It's probably 40 yards. Yeah. Is he going away? No. He's just chilling.
The plan came together perfectly, but with no decoy out, the tom only gave us a quick look before disappearing back behind the hill. I dropped back to imitate a hen walking away, and left Lucas in hopes of making him think he just missed her. But he wasn't interested in making the trek. We continued walking the field edge and calling until we heard another gobble. This time, we snuck in closer, and I set up calling 50 yards behind Lucas right off the bat. With no decoy, we again used the hill method to our advantage. If the turkey crested the top, he would be well within range for Lucas. The tom answered every time we called, but never showed himself and eventually backed away. I tried dropping back even further, but it made no difference. I then snuck back up to Lucas with a wild plan. I have heard many times that if you stop calling altogether, often within a half hour, the bird will come to the spot where you were calling from to check it out. I figured Lucas could stay there in case that happened, and in the meantime, I would make a mile-long loop, using the hilly landscape to stay out of sight, and come in at the same bird from a different angle. I snuck in until I could actually hear the turkey walking and putting on the opposite hillside from me. I picked a tree and let out the softest yelps I could make. We finally got a bird at 2:30 in the afternoon. We really had to get creative and throw every tactic we could think of at them to be successful. I think that made this one of the most fun days of turkey hunting I've ever had.
That was a good idea to do that. Holy crap.
That was a lot of effort, but it turned out like it couldn't have turned out better.
Yeah.
I guess if we would have doubled up or something.
Yeah.
Okay. After how many hours today of hunting?
Out at 5. Or
Yeah.
no, wait, woke up at 5, probably out by 5:30.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what time even is it? Do you know?
It's after 2. I'm going
After
I'm
2.
going 2:30.
Yeah.
2:30 exactly.
2:30.
Right on the money.
So you gotta prove it to the people. They don't believe you.
Yeah. Why would they believe me?
Yeah. So we've been hunting. We took one little break to go get some eggs.
Yep.
But 2:30 is a pretty odd time of day to kill a turkey.
Totally.
But we had an epic adventure. We sat in the blind all morning. We sat in the blind yesterday, sat in the blind all morning. This morning we had 2 hens come out, and then two toms following them.
Yep.
right into our decoy spread. And then, but the toms hung up at 100 yards.
Yep.
And they just wouldn't come in. I think maybe because we had a full strut decoy out, I think that maybe hung them up. Because they were not gobbling or anything. Just came in silent.
Silent. Yep.
So we went in and have some breakfast, regroup, and then we just did a big walk around the whole perimeter of their property, just calling.
Yep.
Over by the pond, we got a call, got a couple different gobbles, kind of chased one down, and we eventually got one really working with us way over there, and got Lucas set up. I dropped back and called, and it came in.
Yep.
But just a quick, I think I got that on film, like his head just popped over. I don't know if you knew if it was close enough or not. I didn't range it for you. And Lucas, being the polite guy he is, was waiting to see if it was a double so we could both shoot one.
Whoops.
But in hindsight, this is really your first time turkey hunting.
Yep. Well, at least this kind of turkey hunting.
The run and
I
gun.
sat in blinds.
Yeah.
I sat in a blind last year for an evening.
Right.
Yep.
And so anyway, that was pretty fun because we played with that turkey for quite a while.
Very vocal.
Pretty much got him in,
Yep.
and eventually he had had enough of us. So we walked the property line way this way. And there's this, the retirement home we're standing next to here, the deer blind. We're like, let's throw a yelp before we come into here. Mm-hmm. Threw a yelp, immediate response, and we're like, we could see it.
Yeah, came out of the weeds or came out of the brush or something. Yeah.
And I mean, how far was he? He's probably 300 yards away.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
And so we just eased back, got Lucas on a tree, and I dropped back. And did some light calling for quite a while, and I kept dropping back and calling.
Yep, he sat there.
Gobbled.
He got close and he gobbled like just over the hill from me. I couldn't see him for like 20 minutes straight. Yep.
And then I eventually came back up to Lucas, and I was like, well, we can try the old sit and wait maneuver.
Yeah.
We did that for a little bit together. And I was like, well, he was still gobbling.
Yep.
But I was like, I think he'll get curious eventually of you and come check you out if we just shut up. So I was like, meanwhile, as a backup plan, I'm going to go all the way around, which was like a huge walk.
Yeah.
To stay out of sight of him. Like, I had to go all the way around.
Yep.
I'll put this on a map. And then I snuck up through here to where we're kind of standing.
Yep.
And I could hear him gobbling over there, so I kind of knew I was pretty safe to bomb up into here pretty, without being too sneaky. But when I got just about before this tree, I could hear them walking. This is the part you don't know. I could hear a turkey walking in the woods.
Yeah.
And then I could hear a turkey putting, like just on the other side of this.
Okay.
hill. Like it was just like, boop, boop.
Yeah.
And it almost sounded like a hen or something, or like maybe they heard me. And I was like, oh my, I gotta get into position. So I like ever so slowly got sitting in front of this tree. And then I just gave it like the softest few yelps. And that's when you heard him gobble.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, he was like,
Yeah, he sounded like he was just like in the same spot he was before earlier when I heard him gobbling a bunch.
yeah. But he was really just over this hill.
Yep.
And it took him like no time at all until I could see his head.
Yep.
And I was like, yep, big red head on him, and we had already tried to let turkeys get close. And they never want to get closer. We don't have a decoy right now with us as we're running and gunning, and I just let him have it.
Yep.
And he went down. So anyway, I would say that was a pretty wild adventure.
Yeah, that was sweet.
I mean, sorry we didn't get you on. We can still try.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
And yeah, I don't have to hunt the evening now.
There you go. You can go home.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
All right.
Sweet.
Good hunting with you. Yeah, we'll get you one next time.
Yep.